sana, welcome to this session for today. As usual, being a Sunday, we look at how we can live a longer, healthier life. It's important, like we all say, that our main role in this planet is to postpone death, to live as long as possible, as healthy as possible. And today we have a very exciting topic concerning insulin resistance. And the topic of today is understanding insulin resistance. Now, I did a session about it. I know a few sessions have been done by Betty Olo, and I've gotten several questions by different people on matters insulin resistance. So I say it will be good to do a recap just to try it, that we should be very conscious of it and take corrective measures about it. And to understand this topic, the first thing that we need to do is to understand what is insulin and how does it work. Because when you understand what insulin is, then and how it works, then we can understand why insulin resistance occurs. Now, insulin is a hormone that regulates blood sugar. Your blood sugar levels in the body are regulated by insulin, and it is a hormone, growth hormone. You can't live without insulin. That is a fact. You cannot live, you cannot survive. Number one, when you eat food, food is broken down into sugars or glucose with in your bloodstream. Then number two, the increase in sugar causes your pancreas release of insulin from body cells, which then use the sugar as energy. Yeah. So you can see the cycle there. You eat food, it's broken down into sugars. Then your pancreas releases insulin, and the insulin acts as a key to allow the sugar or the glucose into the body cells, which then act as energy. After this process, then your blood sugar returns to normal. That's how a normal cycle happens. When you eat, anytime you eat, this is exactly what happens. Your liver to store some extra blood sugar, which can be used later. Let's say, for example, you stay for long periods without eating, then your liver will produce the excess glucose so that you can be able to use this sugar to produce Now let's look at it now. What is insulin resistance? We have understood what insulin is and what it does. Now let's look at what is insulin resistance. Now, when your body is exposed to too much blood sugar for extended periods of time, you can develop insulin resistance. Now, this is actually a situation whereby the cells of the body lose what they are supposed to do in terms of getting the sugar into the cells. And if you look at it step by step, what it means is that, number one, a lot of blood sugar enters in the bloodstream. Your pancreas pumps out high levels of insulin to get more blood sugar into the cells. The third thing is, over time, your cells stop responding well to insulin, which is what we call resistance. That's what we call insulin resistance. Some people use other names. It can be called insulinemia, too much high insulin. Some people call it pre-diabetic. and the like. Now, your blood sugar remains high as a result, it's releasing more and more insulin, trying to down the sugar into the cells and to help the cells respond. And eventually, your pancreas can't keep up and your blood sugar keeps increasing. So your blood sugar remains high. Now, high blood sugar is damaging to the body. So what the body does is that it takes this sugar and it always tries to remove the extra sugar. And what happens is they pushed into the liver, into the muscle, and the way you gain fat, the way you become overweight, because now the sugar is now put as visceral fat, and you start getting a pot belly, and you start gaining weight, and then we can say that now you have become overweight with time. So you can see the psychology or the backbone of weight gain and how weight gain happens, and that, in a nutshell, is how insulin resistance occurs. Now let's look at what are some of the causes of insulin resistance. Then we can be able, if we avoid the of if we can reverse. Now, causes of insulin resistance, number one, excess body fat. We've talked about that. Physical inactivity. If you're a couch potato, if you're not exercising to get insulin resistance. Age, the older you grow, the more prone you are to insulin resistance. Number four, genetics. Some people come from families which are predisposed to matters insulin resistance and diabetes and sugar issues. Then the other issue that plays a very huge role is insulin resistance. And that is the issue of stress and insufficient sleep. Stress and insufficient sleep. When you get too much cortisol in your system, when you're not sleeping well, you are burning the candle in both ends, definitely you are bound into insulin resistance. Now, let's look at diet. What are some of the things that we do, or what, because diet has two things, what we eat and how we eat. These two things will influence whether you're going to get insulin resistance or not. Let's start with what we eat. If you're eating a lot of simple sugars in your diet, so that means you're eating a lot of white rice, white chapati, white ugali, the whites. If you're eating a lot of the whites, then you are actually setting yourself up for insulin resistance. Now, the other thing is if you are eating too frequently, so you wake up in the morning, you take tea and mandazi, which are basically simple sugars that you're pumped in the system. The body produces insulin. Then by the time you get hungry, again, more insulin is pumped out. Lunchtime, you're eating your chips and you maybe with a soda and something like that. Again, more carbohydrates, more simple sugars are pumped out. 3 o'clock, you bite something. In the evening, you bite something. And there's this habit also of eating constantly, whereby you find that even in between these meals, you have some chewing gum in the bag. I know many ladies love doing this. You have some chewing gum in the bag, you have some biscuits, you have something. So you're always eating, you're always eating, you're always eating. And chewing gum, which has sugar, of course. And you find that at the end of the day, you keep on pumping sugar into your system. And as you pump sugar, your body keeps on producing insulin all the time that you are eating. And this will definitely set you up for insulin resistance. Okay, so eating too many simple sugars. Then the other culprit is taking tea. I know we come from a tea, we love tea. So you find that you take tea in the morning, tea at 10, tea at lunchtime. You're always taking tea all the time and you're taking it with sugar. Definitely, you are setting yourself up for insulin resistance. Okay. Now, the other thing that is a culprit is using the wrong cooking oils. So we are talking about the seed oils, yeah? So I know many of us, we've been using seed oils for quite some time, and it is about time we looked at this and we started looking for the right oils that we are going to be using in terms of cooking. And the right oils will include things like avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, ghee, lard, something like that, and getting rid of the seed oils, because the seed oils will definitely set you up for insulin resistance. Then eating a large meal in the evening and then immediately going to bed. Yeah. And again, this is a matter of culture. I know many cultures whereby the only meal you eat, the only big meal you eat is supper. You skip breakfast, lunch, you don't eat much, then you eat a huge supper, then you go to bed. Now, this definitely will set you up for insulin resistance because you put too much sugar in the system, then you go to bed and you sleep, you're not working out, you're not doing anything, you're just redundant. So you get a serious spike on your sugar levels, and the whole night your body is pumping out insulin to try and fight the glucose that you've just pumped into the system. So these are the causes of insulin resistance that really now brings us to the next. And the next point is looking at I am insulin resistant. Yeah, because insulin resistance can hide in your body for 10, 15, 20 years before it actually blows up and it comes out in terms of disease. So I want us to look at what are some of the symptoms that you may have, that you may feel, that might indicate that you could be insulin resistance. The first thing and obvious one is belly fat. If you're getting a capote or if you have a capote that doesn't go away, no matter how many push-ups and cardio that you do, the pot seems to be getting bigger than disappearing, then you might be either insulin resistant or getting that way. Then being overweight and obesity, that also means that your chances are very high. But however, I must mention that even slim people can be insulin resistant. So it's not just people who are obese or people who are overweight who are insulin resistant, but even people with a slim profile can actually be insulin resistant. The other thing is skin tags. Skin tags, you know, the things like, I have one here, the tags the black tags that appear on your face. This is a clear indication of insulin resistance. And reason being, insulin is a growth hormone and it makes things grow. So that is why you find that many people, as they grow older, they start getting skin tags on their face. The other important thing that happens is constant fatigue. Constant fatigue, you're always tired all the time. And then you get cravings for carbohydrates. You always have cravings. You want to eat, you want to eat. You're constantly hungry. You eat within a few minutes, you're hungry again, you want to eat again. Yeah. That tells you that chances are high that you have insulin resistance. Constant fatigue, I think I mentioned that. Pigmentation problems. If you find that your pigment, your skin pigment is different from different areas, under the armpits, in areas of the neck, on your face, this could indicate that you actually are insulin resistant. The other challenge is irritability. Getting worked up unnecessarily could also indicate that you're insulin resistant. Swelling of feet, especially when you travel and you come home and your feet are swelling, that could also indicate that you are insulin resistant. Blurry vision, yeah, starting to get vision problems, that could also be an issue of insulin resistance. Erectile dysfunction for men, that could also indicate insulin resistance. For women, hormonal imbalance. If you find that you're growing a beard as a lady, you're getting a mustache and you're getting a beard, that could indicate that you have insulin resistance. And insulin, being a hormone, is interfering with your hormonal balance. And even the development of cysts and fibroids could also be linked towards insulin resistance. Now, Let's look at some of the diseases that can actually result from being insulin resistant. And if you look at the list of these diseases, you'll understand why this is a topic that needs to be looked at. And all of us need to take immediate and urgent corrective action to sort out this issue of insulin resistant. Because they say that three, if you have 4 people, 3 out of 4 has insulin resistance. And you don't want this thing to stay in your body for 5, 10 years. Then it comes and explodes on you, and you end up in hospital, and you end up with the diabetes and other problems. So let's look at some of the diseases that can actually result from being insulin resistant. Number 1 is prostatitis, erectile dysfunction, impotence, issues to do with men. Number 2 I've mentioned is hormonal imbalance, PCOS in ladies, which might prevent somebody from conceiving. Polycystic ovarian syndrome that might prevent a lady from conceiving. I also mentioned about cysts and fibrosis. Then tumors can also develop neuropathy, yeah, where you find that unaanza kukufa ganzi kwa miguu, and neuropathy, you find that now you cannot feel your legs, and your legs, you can get neuropathy in the legs, in the fingers, and that like of thing. You're getting numb and that kind of thing. So this can start developing. Now, if it is not looked into, it can lead to amputation later in life. Then non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease can also result. And I must say that for me, this matter of insulin resistance, I've seen it happen in several people around me. And I must say that I've also been a victim of it. And it's something that I've dealt with, I'm dealing with it. It's a continuous process. And it's something that I feel many of us need to look at and take action on. And I remember I shared this information with a client of mine, and a few days later, she was diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And she was telling me, Fred, the thing you're telling me has befallen me. I went to hospital and I did tests, and I was told I have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. She's been overweight for a long period of time, and there you are. So now she has high blood pressure, and she's working on it. Luckily, she was able to get the supplements, and she's also taking the supplements. So this is something that is happening and can happen to all of us. And it's something that we should not take for granted. It is not the kind of thing that you say at it, so and so ule ndio anaweza kuwa nayo. You are probably the one who has it, and you need to take corrective action. Okay. The other issue is high blood pressure, and later you can develop type 2 diabetes. So these are some of the diseases. The other disease that you can get is cancer. Cancer, there are some cancers that will develop as a result of this. As you know, cancer loves sugar. And when you have too much sugar in your body, then chances are high you might develop cancer. Then what they call type 3 diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, can result as a result of insulin resistance, and which can later become dementia. So these are some of the diseases that can result because of insulin resistance. And these are the reason why we need to take this matter very seriously and take corrective action. Now let's look at how can you reverse insulin resistance. We've looked at what are the causes. We've looked at what insulin resistance is. We've looked at the symptoms that happen that can indicate that you have insulin resistance. Now we want to look at how can we be able to reverse insulin resistance when you already have it, or you suspect that you have it. How can you be able to reverse? Now, the following can help you. Number 1, exercise more. Do a lot of exercise, because when you exercise, physical activity, physical activity, it can help you to reduce insulin resistance. And makes your cells more sensitive to insulin. So you need to come up with a regime 3 times a week or more. If you cannot do it 5 times a week, then you need to exercise more frequently. 30 minutes of high impact exercise that will make you sweat a little bit will actually help you to make your cells more insulin resistant. The next thing is weight loss. If you can be able to lose weight, then you actually on your way to reversing your insulin resistance. Then we talk about diet. Now, for diet, there are a few things that are recommended that you do for diet. Number one, lower the carbs and the carbohydrates. Lower them. Stop eating whites or minimize the amount of carbohydrates that you're taking. And I was watching a podcast and the gentleman said, when you have a belly, when you have a bit of a belly, you already have enough carbohydrates stored in your belly. So you don't need to add more carbohydrates. You can reduce them so that your body can burn what is stored to produce energy. So carbohydrates or simple sugars, eat more complex carbohydrates. Rather than eating white ugali and white bread, eat your ndoma or your ngwashe. You'll have a lower sugar spike when you eat ndomas than when you eat white bread or white rice. Yeah, especially with notorious for pumping sugar in blood. And that's why the areas of Kirinyaga are leading as far as diabetes is concerned. So lower your carbohydrates intake. Then the other thing is cut out soft drinks and juices. These ones are loaded with sugar. When you take too many sugary drinks, you are injecting yourself with sugar direct. You can just see the spike of sugar, which is accompanied by a spike of insulin that will be excreted. And if you're taking it on a daily basis or several times in a day, like when you're taking tea several times in a day, then you're pumping too much sugar and into your body, which is resulting in much insulin being pumped, and you're actually exposing yourself to insulin resistance with all the challenges that come in resistance. The next thing is try and avoid sugar in tea, or take tea once in a while, take as many times. Like I said earlier, Africans love their tea, Kenyans love their tea, I love my tea, but you have to reduce the amount of tea that you're taking, or take it without sugar, take it black, preferably, even without the milk, so that you don't keep on spiking your glucose level, the glucose level in blood, which results in more insulin being pumped out. Then practice intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is something that can actually be able to help you. How it works, basically, I can share what I do myself, is after taking supper in the evening, the next day, I don't take breakfast, I take fluids in the morning, and I will take my breakfast at around 1 o'clock, and then I will eat from there on. So you can do intermittent fasting. Sometimes I even do a 24-hour fast. You can do that. You can do a 3-day fast, 5-day fast. So long as you're denying your body some food, then you're correcting the sugar levels, which will actually end up correcting the amount of insulin in your system. And when you correct the amount of insulin, then you change your body from fat retention to fat burning. So get into the fat burning mode. So you can actually practice intermittent fasting, and it will actually help you. Okay. Then eat your dinner early, by 6 p.m. if possible. Allow at least 2 to 3 hours before going to bed, eating dinner, so that your body has enough time to digest the food that you have eaten. Okay, eat more fiber. We're talking about fruits and vegetables, and eat the fruit itself, not yourself in a situation whereby you're making juices with the tendency of adding flavorings and that kind of thing, which actually makes the juices trigger a sugar spike in your body. Okay, then eat good protein. Eat good protein. By good protein, what I mean is eat your kienyeji chicken, eat your kienyeji cow. That is, if you can get kienyeji cow, that is the most preferred. Eat kienyeji eggs. Kienyeji eggs are important, or eggs which are gotten from chicken, which are free range, not the broiler kind of thing. Then eat your fish, very, very important. So eat some good proteins. That will make a big difference. Now, eat more complex carbohydrates. I already can mention something about protein. What you find is that when you eat proteins, they don't trigger a serious sugar spike in your body as compared to the simple carbohydrates. And you actually find that when you eat protein, you can maintain a very balanced day without feeling excessively hungry and that kind of thing. And that will now trigger your body to burn fat to produce energy. And I remember when we got the GR2 program in Kenya, one of the enjoys, had this book that was telling us what to enjoy and what to avoid. And one of the things they were saying you enjoy is a steak without too much fat. And you could get a sandwich of that, or fish or chicken, and then you'd be able to put it in your mini meals, and that would balance out your sugar levels, and it will force your body to burn stored fat to produce energy, and you'll be able to lose some weight. Okay. Now, then the other important thing is the use of organic natural supplements. And here we are talking about Neolife. Neolife has the best supplements for reversing insulin resistance. And I'm going to just list them here so that you can know which are the most important ones that you can use for this. The first one is TNN for obvious reasons. We said that your cells stop being sensitive to insulin. The best way to get them to become sensitive to insulin is by sorting out the cell itself. When you take TNN, it actually ensures that your cell membrane is soft and permeable, nutrients are able to get in, waste is able to go out, you become more energetic, and you'll be able, it is a fast product that will actually help you in making your cells more sensitive to insulin. So that's number one. TNN is absolutely a must. The next product that will actually help you is fiber tablets. Fiber tablets. Now, fiber, you take 2 tablets in the morning, immediately you wake up. It saves 80% of sugar from blood. Make sure you take fiber with enough water so that your stool doesn't get too tough. So take fiber in the morning, then take fiber in the evening, like an hour or two before supper. Yeah. I did this. I was taking this twice a day together with Botanical Balance, and I was able to burn more than 4 kilos, and mainly in belly fat, and I was able to fit in better in clothes and that kind of thing. So fiber tablets will do a big thing. Remember, it saves 80% of sugar from blood. It also helps to clear your digestive tract, any backlog that is left there. It's actually will be removed. Then we have Botanical Balance. We have Botanical Balance. Botanical Balance is one of our products that actually balances sugar levels in your body. And again, Botanical Balance, you take it in the morning, twice a day. You take it together with fiber in the morning before breakfast, then take it again in the evening before supper, so that you can balance out your sugar levels in the course of the day, and you can avoid spikes of even when you eat, you don't get a spike from the food that you have eaten. Then the other product that will do a good thing for you in this category is CoQ10. CoQ10. Now, CoQ10 makes all your internal organs to function properly, whether it's your brain, whether it's your eyes, whether it's your kidney, your pancreas. CoQ10 actually helps them to function properly. So CoQ10 again goes to the cell. Remember, we are talking about making the cells more sensitive to insulin. So you need CoQ10 together with TNN, because CoQ10 goes to the mitochondria, to the engine of the cell, and it actually ensures that the mitochondria is functioning properly, the cell is producing energy properly, and that ultimately helps in reversing insulin resistance. Another product that will do it for you is Neolife Shake. Neolife Shake is rich in good protein. It's plant protein. It is also rich in fiber. It has fiber in it, so it helps to burn, to sieve sugar from blood. It also has lipotropic factors in it. So the lipotropic factors help to burn the visceral fat, the bad fat that has accumulated in your body to produce energy. And then it's a complete protein. So it's a balanced diet. And it is rich in minerals and that kind of thing. It has 22 amino acids. So Neolife Shake will definitely make a big difference in terms of reversing your insulin resistance. As you know, Neolife Shake is also used for weight loss or just managing your weight. You can actually use that. The other product that you can use is Neolife Tea. Neolife Tea is geared towards burning visceral fat to produce energy. And like we have seen, visceral fat is a culprit where insulin resistance is concerned. So if you use Neolife Tea to burn some fat, then you are well on your way to reverse your insulin resistance. Okay. So these are some of the things that you can do. The last thing that I want to mention that you need to do is have quality sleep and manage your stress levels. Have quality sleep and manage your stress levels. Of course, if you're not able to sleep properly, we have supplements that will actually help you. We are talking of Herbal Rest and Relax will sort you out as far as sleeping is concerned. Calmag, when taken in the evening, will help you to sleep well. For managing stress, of course, we have Aloe Vera Plus. Aloe Vera Plus will actually help you in managing stress together with the Herbal Rest and Relax and the Calmag. Vitamin B complex also helps you in managing stress. So these are some of the products that you can actually get for yourself so that you can be able to get on this program of watching your body to ensure that you don't become insulin resistant. And as I finish, I just want to mention that insulin resistance is something that is not a one-time thing. You will not take care of your insulin levels now and then relax and go back to your old ways. I think that now I'm okay. The chances of slipping back and getting back to where you started are very high. Unless you get a new discipline and you stick to it and you be constantly aware of what you're doing. Because sometimes you might want to follow the principles that I've just talked about and eat the way that I've talked about. But then you do a party or something like that, and there's this food, and there's cake, and there's biscuit, and there's all these things. And suddenly you spike your sugar levels. You know very well I've spiked my sugar levels to great heights today, so there must be a lot of insulin in my body. What you do after that is what matters, because you can take corrective action and say, okay, fine, I've done that. I know I've had a cheat day. So in the evening, what am I going to do to correct this? What food, what diet will I eat in the evening? How will I handle my day tomorrow? If I have a cheat day and I eat a lot of biscuits and cakes and like we all will do, remember in the morning you took your fiber and your TNN and your botanical balance. But now when you get back home, what diet should you eat? Then the diet that you eat in the evening should be full of good fiber and very little, if any, of carbohydrates or simple sugars, because you had a day where you took too much. So you can play around and take corrective actions so that you ensure that you don't get yourself insulin resistant with all the other challenges that come with it. But the good thing, guys, is that we have the best products in terms of supplements in your life that actually help us to sort out this issue of insulin resistance. And even when you become diabetic or you have high blood pressure, we have products that sort that one out as well. So we have solutions that we have at our disposal that you can actually be able to use. So as I wrap it up, I just want to tell our guests, I know we have some guests on the call, that Neolife has a solution. Whether we are talking about health, we are talking about lifestyle, we are talking about travel, making money, because behind the products of Neolife, there's a fantastic, fantastic business opportunity that can give you good money, enable you to travel the world and enjoy lifestyle. We just came from Cape Town the other day, in this month of June. And I mean, it was exciting. It was exciting being in Cape Town with my wife, having fun, fully paid for by Neolife. So if you want the lifestyle of traveling every year and making money and changing people's lives and helping people to live a healthier life, living a life of purpose, living a life of purpose where every day you're making a positive difference in people's lives, either in terms of information, in terms of supplementation. Yesterday, I was somewhere and I was giving a talk to more than 100 men in a church, and I could see the excitement as they got this new knowledge that many of them didn't have on how they can be able to function and live better as men. So we have this opportunity whereby we are able to make a positive difference in people's lives. You can join us and become a distributor of Neolife and start living a life of purpose so that you don't just live for yourself, for me, myself, and I, but you live making a positive difference to everybody around you and the community at large. Tomorrow evening at 8 o'clock, Pascal Olo will be here. He'll be talking on this very same link. He'll be talking on how can you be able to make money using the Neolife opportunity, using the Neolife products. You don't want to miss that one. Otherwise, this recording will be available a little bit later today, and you can share it with as many people as possible so that they can be able to get to learn more about insulin resistance. And I know by sharing, you are going to save some lives out there. You're going to save some lives. You're going to spread some knowledge out there. The Bible says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." So you don't want people to perish for lack of knowledge. When you have something that you can be able to share with them that can actually enlighten them and give them information that will make them live a longer, healthier life. So that is it from me. I want to thank you for popping in and for gracing this occasion, all 114 of us. I do believe that you've learned something that you can be able to put in practice in your life, which can make a difference. I sincerely hope that this information will not stop with you. Even if you're a guest, you'll share this information with somebody somewhere so that they can be able to live a longer and healthier life. So thank you all. I see there are a couple of comments. I don't know whether they are comments or questions. Lydia, I don't know whether you've seen them. Are they questions or comments? Okay. I don't think there are questions. So guys, thank you so much. God bless you. See you next week when we talk about something different in your life. In your life, we always have an interesting topic to discuss, and next week we'll be having one. So karibuni sana, God bless you, and have a blessed rest of Sunday evening. Bye-bye.